Hello viewers and subscribers, this is Israel Television. Today we are going to be showing you the full clip, the full video of Governor Chukwuma Soludo's speech on his revised budget. We're going to be listening to him going forward. This is the entire video. Let's go.
Destination to live, to learn, invest, work, and then relax and enjoy. The agenda is predicated on 4 strong pillars. Robust economic transformation for a new industrial tech/tech leisure hub. A comprehensive social agenda for a human capital bank that is productive at home and exportable abroad. Governance, rule of law, and a new value system. And a clean, green, planned, and sustainable communities, markets, and cities. The State Executive Council was constituted within 3 weeks, and we have been firing from all cylinders. In some weeks to come, we shall have the opportunity to give a preliminary report on some of the foundational issues we are putting in place to kick off and propel the journey ahead. Among the challenges we inherited, a red treasury and pervasive insecurity, especially with criminals taking the 7 local governments of the South Senatorial Zone hostage, were the most acute. We have chosen to confront the foundational issue of security head-on and expected that those profiting from the lucrative criminal enterprise would viciously fight back, and they have. Suffice it to say that so far, so good. They are testing our will and resolve. And let me assure you this, Anambra will win. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the purpose of the 2022 revised budget is to reflect current realities, challenges, and priorities of the new administration and in the Anambra. We are undaunted by the state of the Treasury. We have seriously started reforming our system of tax administration to significantly ramp up our internally generated revenue over the coming years. In the meantime, the dire needs of the Anambra and our transformation agenda cannot wait. We are working on a mixture of financing options, including debt that is ring-fenced to fund bankable projects and or infrastructure with impacts on the economy to guarantee efficient and effective service delivery to our people while ensuring fiscal sustainability over the medium to longer terms. The details of this will be laid out in our 2023 budget. The revised budget size, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, is about 170 billion versus the existing appropriation of about 142 billion. With a capital expenditure accounting for 64% compared to previous 57%. Capital expenditure is increased by 33% from 81 billion to 108 billion, while the current expenditure only increased marginally by 0.79 from 60 billion. We left the budget on security unchanged, while we count on off-budget resources from donations to augment. As a reflection of our agenda, about 60% of the capital expenditure is targeted at delivering infrastructure that the average citizen can feel, can see, can use or touch, and which have highest developmental impact within the shortest possible time. For example, we have declared a state of emergency on rebuilding our road infrastructure and traffic management. About 52 billion, or about 31% of the total budget, is for the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. And we intend to simultaneously invest in roads in most of the local governments, if not all, paying special attention to our urban regeneration agenda, including the Okechukwu regeneration. We have requested the federal government to kindly intervene on an emergency basis on a number of federal roads in the state that have become nightmarish death traps. We confidently expect their urgent responsive action. But in the event that the expected response does not come soon, we may have to implement urgent palliatives in some places, especially at Amansi, Ikulobi, Bukunobi Road, Ogidi, etc., where the roads are literally cutting off. We plan to recruit qualified medical doctors and nurses for our general hospitals and upscale the infrastructure in selected ones. We have already received over 26,000 applications in response to advertisement to recruit and train teachers for our primary and secondary schools. Visitation panels will review the operations of the State University, Polytechnic, and College of Education to provide basis for our reforms to ensure that they are fit for purpose. As a precursor to our planned entertainment and leisure city, which we envisage to be the largest in Africa, we have budgeted in the interim to construct an expansive entertainment and leisure park around the Agolo Lake. Yes, our administration is continuing with the Community Choose Your Project initiative of my predecessor and have raised the value of the community project to 25 million per community. Furthermore, to drive our everything technology and technology everywhere strategy, the budget provides for a modern centralized ICT data center to consolidate the state's data and ensure business continuity in any and all circumstances. We are commencing the digitization of our land registry. Our agenda to deliberately orchestrate the emergence and the empowerment of thousands of youth millionaires and the digital tribe is giving its first impetus in this revised budget. We promise to reinvent the oil, palm, and coconut revolution. We mobilize communities and the private sector for partnership, and with overwhelming demand so far, we plan to provide 500,000 to 1 million seedlings this year and millions in subsequent years. We have also provided for significant seed money to commence pre-feasibility studies and designs for bankable projects, including possible new cities. On August 27 this year, Anambra State will celebrate its 31st anniversary as a state, but without a proper government house and a governor's lodge. Possibly the only state with such a record. We have budgeted to correct this to ensure the efficiency of government operations. We have also budgeted to continue the work in progress in our international airport, cargo airport. Of course, the airport remains a work in progress. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in the months and years ahead, we have had choices to make as we strive to meet the expectations of our people. Fiscal prudence will become a lifestyle as we cannot afford to waste one kobo. Transparent public finance management will be critical. That is why we have also budgeted for the full computerization of the Ministry of Finance and the Office of the Accountant General. Managing our over 120 billion debt, especially the contractor debt and pension liabilities in the context of the paltry Federation account receipts and burgeoning needs of our people, will task our collective dexterity and demand hard choices and sacrifice. We just received the preliminary report of the external consultants' review of our local government finances, which confirms that the combined state and local government gratuity liabilities to pensioners to be at over 20 billion naira. We are determined to clean the books over time and align Anambra's pension administration with the Pension Act and let our pensioners smile. In the meantime, our administration has signaled a new dawn by insisting that we won't own new retirees under my watch, while we have also started, albeit gradually, paying down the backlog. Our government is very serious in forging new development partnerships with the international development partners, the federal government, as well as the local government. We are reforming our processes and ramping up our active engagements to maximize the benefits of such partnerships. For example, We have budgeted to meet our counterpart funding requirements to access federal and development partner funds. We are also working hard to restructure and reform our local government administration in conformity with the relevant laws. We will collaborate with the local governments in the areas of waste management, cleaner, greener, and more environmentally sustainable communities, street lighting, fire service, qualitative primary school education, as well as planned modern markets, as well as also for security. Community government will be strengthened and mainstreamed. Already, the state is forging new sustainable economic partnership with the communities, not only with the Community Choose Your Project initiative, but now with the new community-based but jointly owned oil palm and coconut plantations that will soon adorn the state. In weeks to come, we will be coming to you again and again with a set of legislations required as critical building blocks for the next Anambra we all envision, as well as other critical approvals and confirmations required from this Honorable House. By July, we shall also start the process for the 2023 budget and will again come to this House once completed. I sincerely do hope and pray that despite your busy political agenda, I see many of you jostling, and I understand there are several who are not here, getting their delegates ready, or getting their delegates wherever. We pray that despite all of that, it's going to be quite challenging in the weeks and months ahead. That despite all of this, you will still find sufficient time to devote to the expeditious discharge of these responsibilities required of your very good offices. I want to add this, that the good people of Anambra entrusted you and employed you to do this job. They thought you fit and proper people to do the job. And having employed you, there is no excuse to them. You got to do your job for which they employed you. And that's why they're still paying you. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this revised budget 2022 signposts some of the key deliverables for this year as we kick off from the blocks. It is also a call to collective action and lifestyle of value for money. The foundation of Anambra as a smart megacity will be tasking all of us to the limit. But we are in the Anambra. The irrepressible Anambra spirit and the collective action of the people that loves their homeland dearly are what we will continue to call and draw upon to move ahead. This Anambra spirit and collective action came alive during my visits to Lagos and Abuja last week to meet with our people. The enthusiasm and generous pledges of our people towards our homeland security demonstrated once again that Anambra can be anything we desire and work that it should be. I am emboldened.
Hello viewers and subscribers, this is what you have on this page by the Governor Chukwuma Soludo. Please subscribe to the channel and click on the notification button because you don't want to miss any of the developmental projects coming forward from Anambra State. We're going to be covering the situation going forward. The governor has marshaled out the resources. He has revised the budget. And now we're going to be expecting massive infrastructural development across Anambra cities. This is the situation right now. Subscribe now and click on that notification button. Share, like, and comment. And tell us the areas you think the governor should tackle immediately and going forward. Thank you for viewing.